Hey out there. This is Friday, July 11th, 2014, and I'm in beautiful Santa Cruz, California. And I'm right along West Cliff Drive. I think that there is the only house that I can think of on the ocean side of the highway. West Cliff Drive runs up there. The houses are all on the east side of the highway. That's the only one on the west side. See a big fog bank out there. It's nice and sunny in town, but as you can hear, quite breezy. And right over there is Point Sur. That's the Monterey Bay, Monterey Peninsula. And when my kids were little, I told them that was Hawaii, because you see, you can't see any landmass in between the main part, the mainland there, and the peninsula. It looks like it's an island, and they believed me. Funny, huh? This is, if I zoom in a little, you'll be able to see the lighthouse. Here's some pelicans. The lighthouse right over there. Beyond that is the wharf and the boardwalk. You know, the year-round fair. Really quite a beautiful day. I got lucky. It can be socked in fog around here. Out there, while I'm talking today, I got to keep reminding myself not to back up, because I'll fall off this rock I'm standing on. I'm probably about 25-35 feet from the ocean down here in Santa Cruz, California. It's July 11th, 2014, and there's a few things I wanted to discuss today, but first I wanted to mention how I was feeling right before I made this video, right before I started today. And I feel really desperate. I feel like I need relief. And I'm discovering more and more as I talk to people that I'm not alone. A lot of people are really feeling the need for relief. And I was in Felton, which is a little town. It's a little suburb of Santa Cruz. It's part of Santa Cruz County. It's about 6 miles inland, kind of northeast of Santa Cruz. And I was talking to a fella at the park, this Covered Bridge Park in Felton, this morning. And we started chatting, and right away I could see this guy was awake, that this guy really knew his stuff. And I said, "Where do you get your information?" And he said, "Alex Jones." And I just looked at him and I shook his hand, and I told him that I had seen Alex speak here in Santa Cruz back in 2010, October 25th, 2010. And turns out he's a big fan, big listener, and you know, we really hit it off, and we really agreed on a lot of what's going on in this country and around the world, and who's doing it, and how it's happening, and what a scam, what a monumental charade that's being pulled on humanity. And we all just need to, first of all, wake up to it. And don't believe any of this propaganda trying to tell you
that these people didn't know what they were doing, that these top politicians and these top banking officials, don't believe anybody that tells you that this was incidental, this was accidental. It's a bunch of bull, okay? This was planned, deliberate, intentional, designed, engineered, call it what you will, but as a matter of fact, what's happening in America and worldwide is all by design. And it's a group of hypocritical, elitist, lying, cheating, thieving, murderous thugs that are the grand puppeteers, the kingpins, the top overlords, and they embrace an evil spirit, a satanic spirit of hating humanity. And it's very important that people really, really understand the gravity of the situation. It is literally life and death. Literally life and death. People are dying in America. Today, people are going to die out in the cold. They're going to get their head kicked in by some thug. Okay, some punk thug that his parents, he overheard his parents say, hey, these homeless people, they're bad for business at our little retail shop, or whatever the situation is. I know what goes on. I know how business people feel about homeless people sleeping in their doorways and crapping. Okay, it doesn't take a large brain. Okay, everybody knows what's going on here. And I'm getting sick and tired, and this is something everybody's got to wake up to. Okay, I'm sick and tired of passivity. I'm sick and tired of people saying, comme ça, you know, what will be and all this. Well, just remember, if that's your attitude, that's like pleading no contest in court, and it's as good as guilty. You're going off with the guilty party. Okay, nobody can be silent on this issue. There's only two sides. There's no Democrat, Republican. There's no race side. There's no nationality side. This is down to humanity versus inhumanity. Okay? That's a matter of fact, and we all need to just really understand the magnitude of the situation. It is very dire and very serious, and none of us can be silent about it. We all have to speak up and say, we understand now what you're doing and how you're doing it and why you're doing it. You're haters of humanity. You believe the earth is overpopulated. Your story is you've got to impoverish the people so that they stop burning fossil fuels and destroying the planet to keep their carbon footprint small. And this is what you're going to try to educate the people, but you've been trying to wean them on this slowly so they understand what's going on here. And you've sold a lot of them on your psychopathic social Darwinism, you know, of survival of the meanest. Okay, because that's who you are. You're willing to stoop to the lowest levels of inhumanity in order to keep your position in place. You love your lives in this world, in this establishment, in this current system so much that you have compromised and sold your soul over and over. You will know them by their fruits. That's all I'm stating. Anybody can repent at any time. That's none of my business. That's between you and your God. But I'm just telling you plainly, everybody out there has got to understand, there is no in-between ground. Okay? Going along with the system is complicity in the system, not speaking out, not being civil disobedient in some manner, at least going on the record and say, I stand on the side of humanity. End of story. You know, and then everybody you meet in your life, family, friends, associates, co-workers, strangers, anybody, everybody, we've got to start discussing things, get everything out in the open so we all understand what's going on here. You know, we have to come to a common consensus for the good of humanity and us individually, because I can't be happy while others suffer needlessly. That's the bottom line. You know, that's what drives me to make these videos, is because it's my entitlement to be happy. And in so doing, what I've learned is that I cannot be happy while others around me, my brothers and sisters, my fellow human beings, are every bit as important as me. Because it's all about God's opinion, not my opinion. So everybody is equal as far as I'm concerned, because I believe that's the way God sees it. Every one of them is just as important. And I care about every one of them. And I can't say, well, it's okay that this group of people has freedom and liberty and in terms of prosperity, so they're free. from this money-based oppression that leads to crime and violence and war and debt and all various sorts of enslavement that has been foisted upon the people. Okay, people have to really understand what's going on and how they're getting away with it. Okay, we've got to understand that the money is the root of all the evil. It is literally a competing god. Okay, and until we get to the root, everything else is nibbling around the edges. It's the cause for all the problems, all these industrial complexes, from the immigration industrial complex to the debt industrial complex, to the war industrial complex, to the crime industrial complex, to the cancer industrial complex, on and on and on. It is sick. It's sick. Don't you know by this time in history the superfluity we could have if we shared stuff on this planet? That we've got more excess vacant available housing in America today than any time in history, and the highest prices because the politicians are complicit with the private industry, real estate companies, lenders, and the politicians, so that they manipulate the prices of housing. Their tax base goes up. They can give themselves pay raises. They've got more money. They want to be in the black. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And we've all got to see how simplistic this is. And what we've got is a giant hydra monopoly today. What it is, it's a collective group of special interests. Okay, that's what it is. And that's what comprises this monopoly. And it has to do with the establishment. It has to do with primarily the money printers. They're at the top. The politicians all pay deference to the money printers because they're the ones that give them the money. You understand? They're controlling the ultimate magic in this world, the ultimate power, the ultimate satanic power, because whether you believe Satan is a literal being with other minions that are, off-world beings or whatever kind of beings, bizarre beings you might think them to be, which very well could be the case, or whether it's just a metaphor, that it's just a spirit of Satan, a spirit of hatred for humanity, okay, that these people are embracing. That's what they don't like us. They're mean. They're the ones that are willing to do anything. If it meant committing genocide on the vast majority of people, these are the type of people that are willing to do it. We've all got to wake up to that. And we've all got to move as far away from these people's thinking as we can. Don't buy into this idea that you being a human on planet Earth did something wrong, or if you have children you did anything wrong. You didn't. This Earth is very sparsely populated. Everybody's got to get that through their head. God's got no shortage of real estate. Okay? Don't believe it. They're all lying to you. We can make artificial land if we needed to. I believe it's an area called Macau in China. It's all over the world they can do this and have done it. Okay, so the idea that we're going to run out of land or we're going to run out of water. I mean, Israel's turning the ocean into clean water, drinking water. Okay, so all that stuff is ancient technology at this point in history. The only reason the whole dirty fuel problem doesn't get solved anyhow is because it's a conflict of interest to the oil interests. Okay, they don't want you to be sticking a miniaturized hydrogen production unit under the hood of your car. Could you imagine how that would disrupt their industry? Okay, that's what it all comes down to, folks. It really is that evil. We could have houses, extra houses everywhere. 1 bedroom if you want a small place, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom if you got a big family. Maybe you're having a family reunion. We could have big old mansions available all over the planet by now. Everywhere. You understand? Because people like to work. Guys like to go build houses. Okay, that's a matter of fact. People lose their jobs and get laid off, not because they're tired of going to work. They love working. They love being productive. They love what they do. That's a matter of fact. Adam Smith figured that out. But we want to do it on our terms. We want to be free. We don't want to be born beholden to the Rockefeller class, the Bush class, the Clinton class, and on and on and on with these elitist hypocrites. You know, this attitude of, you know, do as I say, don't do as I